Hey guys, hope everything's going good with everyone here. Merry Christmas, first and foremost. Want to say that to everyone here. I hope that everyone got what they wanted for Christmas. I hope everyone's spending time with their families or with a pet or with anybody, even if it's by themselves, if they feel happy. For the people that Christmas may be, bring about sadness if the holidays do that to you, I just want to say that, you're loved, you're cared for, and I really wish the best for you, and I hope that God blesses you with grace for any coming days that you may have for the new year, and just know that you matter too. With that said, I wanted to talk about Usyk versus Fury 2. I am a huge boxing fan, huge boxing enthusiast, so I also want to talk about boxing as well. I would like my content to be, centered around, two things that I really enjoy a lot, which is boxing and pretty much anything really DC or Marvel related. I'm a huge fan of superheroes, as you guys can tell by my two last videos. But yeah, I really want to talk about this fight. I believe the scorecard was 112 to 116, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that that scorecard is correct. I I know I've seen a lot of people saying that the scores were very unfair. I've seen people saying that Fury was robbed. Um, if you looked at the post-fight press conference, it appears that Fury, you know, you could tell that he was sullen within himself. He really was. He was defeated. You can see it in his eyes. Um, I should state as well that I'm also a boxing coach, or I've done coaching for boxing in the past, and I have a whole story for that some other time that I could talk about. But yeah, that fight was scored exactly the way that it was. Anybody saying that it's a robbery, go back and rewatch the fight. His Excellency Turkey El Sheik has uploaded it as soon as it came out. I believe it was a day or two after, and he uploaded it. Unlike Top Rank and PBC, they like to hold their fights back, unfortunately. Very annoying. But I think they've been uploading their fights quickly as well because of him, His Excellency Turkey El Sheik. So thankfully to him, the fight's up. You can go to his YouTube channel and you can watch it on his channel. I am going to say this. First couple rounds, when I saw Anthony Joshua's scorecard, I agreed. He gave the first two rounds, I believe, to Fury. And I believe the third round went to Usyk, if I'm not mistaken. And the fourth round as well, I think it went to Tyson. I would have to rewatch it again as well. It was scored exactly the way that it should be. I I at first when I saw the fight, I gave a slight edge to Usyk. I was watching it with my brother, and I told him I see this as a tie with a slight edge out to Usyk. So if Usyk ends up winning, it would make sense. But there wasn't really a slight edge. There was actually more than that. And I rewatching some of the fight, some of it, he definitely did what he was supposed to do. Every time Tyson was trying to keep him away using his jab, Usyk would find a way to slip that, go to his right, which is Tyson's left, I believe, because Usyk's southpaw. I might have that messed up. But anyway, he would go to his right, I believe, and he would get closer and land his body shots. He would land his body shots, and I seen Tyson trying to find a way to set up the right uppercut. Now he set up the left uppercut because Usyk in the first fight was susceptible to Tyson's uppercuts, and he even rocked Usyk a few times. But I seen Tyson, at times it almost seemed like he was telegraphing his right uppercut, and Usyk saw that coming anytime that he was trying to get on the inside. But after rewatching some of the fight, I then realized that Usyk did his job extensively because whenever he would get on the inside and whenever he got within the right amount of distance, because boxing is a game of inches, As Andre Ward said, boxing's a game of inches. As Usyk would get closer and got closer and got his shot on the inside, he wouldn't land one shot. He was landing combinations. Now, if anybody knows anything about boxing, you want to do punches and flurries. You want to land more than one punch. You want to be the first to punch and the last to punch. That's what you want to do. You want to be first and third, always. And the reason why is because you want to make sure that you're the person that delivers the first punch and you're the person that delivers the last punch. And the best way to do that is through combinations. Everybody knows that. Anybody that understands boxing on any level that they understand it on, because we all understand it on different levels. We all feel and see different things. To all my boxing enthusiasts or purists out there, you guys know that when it comes to boxing, there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. That's why the saying goes, styles make fights. Styles make fights because there's differences. And those differences have varying similarities. But those varying similarities don't make the fights. The differences in styles do. So, as you guys know, anytime Usyk got closer on the inside, he was able to land combinations. This is something that Fury clearly was outmatched with. He did not know what to do. And there were times where anytime Usyk would get on his right side of positioning, right, to land a straight left, what was Fury doing? Fury was dropping his right hand. And boom, getting clipped with Usyk's straight left. And it happened numerous times. Now, there were times where Fury was able to deflect Usyk's straight left. It happened on a few occasions. I believe rounds 5, 6 is when I started seeing him lift his right hand up again. I rewatched the fight, but only some of it. I'm just taking most of my knowledge from the first time I watched it. I'll rewatch it again. But the second time that I rewatched some of it, just a little bit, I was paying more attention to Usyk than I was the first time I watched it. I was watching both of them, but I was really paying attention to Usyk this time. But anyway, I seen Fury lifting his right hand up to deflect from Usyk's straight left that he kept getting clipped with. Now, I believe once we reach rounds 4 or 5 again, I believe in those rounds, that's when it started to seem like Tyson was getting tired. And I think by round 6 and 7, Tyson was pretty tired. He kept trying to land a lead hook. And as he was landing a lead hook after jabbing, he would jab and then land the lead hook. He would then clinch. Now, that's a veteran move to do. It helps conserve energy for one. And for two, it could also help with tiring out the other guy. Now, Tyson was doing a good job of tiring out Usyk. But Usyk, his conditioning is so well, his stamina is so well, that even though he was getting a little tired and a little gassed from the constant clinching, he still had a reservoir of energy to continue on in the fight. Usyk, by far and large, won this fight fair and square. There was absolutely no robbery. 116 to 112, I believe that the scorecard was, like I said in the beginning of this video. I would have to go back and relook at it, but I'm pretty sure that's what the scorecard was. And then there was the AI scorecard, which Fury lost on as well. There was no robbery whatsoever. Fury's an incredible fighter. He's a great heavyweight. I believe he put on a few more pounds for this fight, so that way he could add a little bit more strength and power to his punches against Usyk, but that didn't do anything. And it didn't do anything because, unfortunately, Usyk is just that good. The big cat is just that good of a heavyweight. Olympic gold medalist, unified from cruiserweight, I believe, to heavyweight. If I'm not mistaken, he is a great heavyweight. He's just a great fighter all around. He's top 5, if anything, heavyweights of this era. If we want to really get into it, like, his status right now. He's doing great, and he's done great, and he did great in this fight. There was absolutely no robbery whatsoever. I believe the best thing to look at when it comes down to fighters like Fury is that Fury went through a lot to get to where he had to get to. When he came back and had his trilogy with Deontay, he really showed perseverance. He really showed a fighter spirit. You know, going through the depression that he went through, going through suicidal thoughts, going through those lows that he reached. And then he fought back. He got up and he went back at it. He got his ass back in that ring and he did exactly what a fighter does. He fought. And it was incredible. All 3 fights with Deontay, legendary classic fights in my opinion, for this generation specifically. I want to say that Fury, you are an incredible fighter, man. I love you. You're dope. You're funny. You got a big personality. You got a lot of heart. And I'm glad that you took the chances and fought Usyk on 2 separate occasions. Everyone was saying that you were scared. And to all the people that said he was scared, y'all know who you are. Everyone said that you were scared, Fury. Everyone said that, but you're not. You fought against the very man that people said you were afraid of on 2 different occasions. That's something that most people that run their mouth would never do with even their worst enemy. Most people don't have the balls to do that. A lot of people don't have the balls to lace up a pair of gloves and get in that ring and do what they got to do. But with that said, Usyk won this fight fair and square, being what Usyk is, which is a champion and an incredible fighter. Incredible. I definitely can't wait to see the next one. I heard talks of a possible trilogy. I highly doubt that it'll happen, but if it does, I want to give my commentary on that. I'll give my review and what I think about that fight at that point. Next fight coming up that I'm looking forward to seeing is Benavidez versus Morrell, which I believe is in February. And then after that, there's Javante versus Roach, March. But also in February on the 22nd is Bivol versus Better B of 2. So I'll be talking about all these fights, and I'll be talking about past fights as well. My number 1 favorite fighter in the world is Marvin Hagler, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Number 1 favorite fighter in the world. That is my favorite boxer, hands down. Nobody comes before him. Nobody comes after him. He will always be my number 1, always. Number 2, Sugar Ray Robinson. Number 3, Ali. Number 4, Lennox. And number 5, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Those are my 5 top favorite fighters. But anyway, I'll be talking about boxing, and I'll be talking about heroes, superhero stuff, things that I like, my opinions, my thoughts, and I'll be sharing them with you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on Fury and Usyk. Just wanted to kind of explain why I personally believe that it's not a robbery. It's just not. And if you guys pay attention to the fight, you'll see that Usyk was doing what he got to do. And you know what? Before I end this video, I do have to say this. When Haney fought Lomachenko, Haney was dropping body shots like nobody's business. Each time it seemed like Loma was about to get into his rhythm, Haney would stop it with body shots. Now, I know most people see that fight and say robbery, but in all honesty, if you pay attention to the fight, you'll see that each time Loma's about to get into his rhythm, that beautiful rhythm that he has, that gorgeous rhythm that we all know him for, like the reason why we call him the Matrix. You guys know what I'm talking about if you watch boxing, if you've seen Loma fight. Each time Loma was about to get into that rhythm, Haney would stop him with body shots. That's what he would do. And people called that a robbery. If you want to call that a robbery, at least pay attention to how the commentators at that specific fight were talking about Loma. Everything Loma did was a positive high. Beautiful positive high. Highest regards ever, highest opinions, everything. But every time they mentioned Haney, it was always a low blow. It was always something negative. It was always a criticism. It was always something along those lines. I remember the commentator, the one that was praising Loma over and over again. I remember that commentator giving Haney a positive comment and commentating on him positively one time during the fight. And if you pay attention to the whole crowd, it was full of Ukrainians. And that's all the camera showed, was all the Ukrainians disappointed. And then you hear the commentators just saying how bad of a robbery this fight was. And then that very situation, seeing those people in that crowd and hearing those commentators say what they said, made everyone say and think that that fight was a robbery. It made everyone believe that, because people are easily swayed by the opinions of others. And that's something that I will always point out. And most people that I've spoken to about that fight told me I didn't really watch the full fight. I just saw YouTube clips and shorts of the fight. I just watched shorts. I saw highlights. Okay, then. So if you haven't watched the full fight, how can you say it was a robbery? You got to make a thorough evaluation by paying attention to the entire thing as a whole. You can't see a sliver and see a couple highlights, read a few comments, and then assume that that's the main narrative. You're not thinking for yourself. You're letting other people think for you. And the reason why I bring this up is because to look at the dichotomy between those things, between those two things. One fight where there was no robbery, people are saying there's a robbery. And then another fight where there isn't a robbery, but people are saying that there is a robbery. Let me say that again. One fight where there was absolutely no robbery, people are saying there's a robbery. Another fight where there wasn't no robbery, people are saying there's a robbery. I think the biggest issue here is not the fact that there's quote unquote robberies when there isn't in those two specific fights, but it's the fact that people allow others to convince them that there was a robbery. And most of you guys, and most of you people in general, not just guys, but most of you people in general, watch these fights through highlights and shorts. Watch the full fight, write it down round by round if you need to. Like, get a notebook and get a pen and a pad and write it down. Write down all your thoughts and opinions and notes on a fight. That way you can make a thorough evaluation and be able to comment, make a video, and speak on things thoroughly from what is actually being observed. Not from the comments that you read and not from the commentators commentating incorrectly, which we know there's plenty of bad commentators out there. Anyway, I hope this video does well for you guys. I hope we can share, discuss things. This is only the beginning. I'm going to keep going from here, and I'm just going to do it because I love it, because I enjoy it. I love talking about these things. I love being able to share and debate and discuss, hell, even argue if we have to. But as long as we can be honest and be able to form our own opinions and thoughts and really say what we got to say as individuals. That way we're not, set in sheep mindset where we're following opinions and following thoughts. I want things to be from a true place, from your own thinking. What's your real thoughts, But yeah, Merry Christmas again to everyone. I love you guys. God bless. Peace.